Welcome to the 2017-2018 NBA preview. My name is Josh, your viewers. Today, we are covering the second-ranked team in the Western Conference and the second-ranked team in my NBA preview, the Houston Rockets. Like always, huge inspiration to Grantland for this series idea, and also like always, this series is based off of regular season wins, and you should probably know that by now, but unfortunately, people probably don't know that by now. It goes in the air, out the other. Last season, the Houston Rockets were able to win 55 games. This season, I could see them winning 60 with the addition of Chris Paul. The backcourt of Chris Paul and James Harden, on paper, it looks amazing and it's going to be scary, but can Chris Paul play off ball? Last season, James Harden became an MVP caliber player, was an MVP candidate, got cursed and was put on the cover of NBA Live 18, getting triple doubles, getting double doubles. Everyone loves James Harden for his effective scoring, but nobody loves James Harden for his amazing defense. But now they have a nice player in Chris Paul who could pick up some of that slack for him, who's a step up from Patrick Beverley. So let's take a look at the offseason moves to see what they got besides Chris Paul this offseason to help James Harden and the Rockets be that top threat in the Western Conference, obviously besides the #1 team I have tomorrow.
Like I said, they got Chris Paul, and looking at what they acquired in this perspective, like with this graphic, it doesn't look that appealing, but none of these guys are on that level of Paul. There's a bit of a drop off. I like PJ Tucker. He was nice with the Toronto Raptors when he was traded there, brought the defense. Luke Richard and Bam Moute just seems to be following Chris Paul everywhere, from the Clippers and now to the Rockets. Tariq Black is back with the Houston Rockets, where it all started for him in the NBA. They lost key role players, but I think it makes up for it by adding Chris Paul. They lost Patrick Beverley, Lou Williams, Sam Dekker, and Montrezl Harrell. Not that bad for what they got. It will be looking bad for the Houston Rockets if Chris Paul decides to leave after this season. He is only a one-year contract, so he can't do that. So if he stays long-term, if he signs a contract with the Rockets, they'll be looking sharp. But if he doesn't, why did they trade away Sam Dekker and Montrezl Harrell? Those guys were young and they were proving to be promising players. They did have a 43rd pick in the NBA draft this season, but their player they drafted is probably going to stay overseas and be a drafting stash. Moving on, let's talk about the projected rotation. The projected rotation looks like Clint Capella, Ryan Anderson, because nobody seems to want him and his ugly contract, Trevor Ariza, James Harden, and Chris Paul. That on paper, that backcourt is probably the best backcourt on paper. It probably won't play like the best backcourt this season. Those caliber of players in the backcourt together, that's going to be awesome if they click. While their key bench guys is Nene and Bam Moute, Troy Williams, PJ Tucker, and Eric Gordon. They don't have a traditional backup point guard. They got guys like Isaiah Taylor and Bobby Brown, who's people's never even heard of before. So James Harden is probably going to be playing the point when Chris Paul is out. Even Eric Gordon might be playing some of that point guard position this season in the age of positionless basketball, really.
So my question for the Houston Rockets is, how well is Chris Paul going to play off ball, and can James Harden and Chris Paul play together? That's kind of the whole theme. We haven't seen a single game with them playing on the court together, and it's a kind of scary thought just in case it doesn't go well.
Chris Paul said in a press conference when he was with the Houston Rockets saying that he's more than happy to play off ball with James Harden. And it's kind of good because he is a dominant ball handler. He likes handling the ball. And with him getting up there in age, there's not a lot of older point guards that handle the ball like Chris Paul. It's good that he's going to be trying to play off ball this season. He's kind of the king of the mid-range, so let's see if he's able to be a catch and shoot in the corner, kind of like Trevor Ariza last year. Mike D'Antoni said they're going to be shooting a lot of threes this season. I could see that. With guys they have a bunch of guys that can shoot threes in the starting lineup. Clint Capella is the guy in the middle, just holding it down, being a defensive big, rebounding the basketball. This is a modern-day team in the NBA. A bunch of guys that shoot threes. Their key rotation players don't look that bad either. Unlike the Boston Celtics, who have liabilities on defense in their starting five, the Rockets, although they may have that same thing with James Harden being there, they have a nice plethora of players that can hide how bad James Harden is on defense. Even the bench. That bench with PJ Tucker and Bam Moute, Nene, like, there's a variety of players on this team that plays defense, and there's also a variety of players that can just shoot the three ball. It's absolutely amazing how well this Rockets team is put together on paper. It might not translate that way, but on paper, this is looking like an amazing team. And if any team is going to scare the Golden State Warriors, it will probably be the Houston Rockets, especially if they click fast. And if somehow, some way, some shape or form, they're able to get a guy like Carmelo Anthony, this is the team for sure to scare the Golden State Warriors. Even though if Carmelo Anthony may not be the player he used to be, Chris Paul is getting up there in age, even though if this might be the first season that they're all playing together, if they're able to get another guy to go with James Harden and Chris Paul, this team can definitely be the best team in the NBA. But as of right now, I don't see anybody being better than the Golden State Warriors. This team, however, does come close in my opinion. Let me know in the comment section below. Do you feel like this team could give a run for their money for the Golden State Warriors in a 7-game series? That's kind of hard to imagine, but in the regular season, they could definitely shock some people.
With that said, if you guys enjoyed, be sure to leave a like on this video. It's greatly appreciated. Tomorrow is the last episode of the NBA preview. I'm super excited. Big things coming and more grinding out videos daily for the next few days and a few months.
Before you go, check out some of these other videos on screen right now featuring the NBA previews past episodes. The link is in the description for the NBA preview playlist in case you want to watch the rest of the series, along with my Twitter. Follow me on Twitter at @NViewers if you want to chat it up about the preview or anything basketball related. I'll talk to you guys in the next one.